Laissez-faire capitalism, the order in which the government does not control to watch over big business, led to the rising of monopolies and trust, which really defined the line between rich and poor. Andrew Carnegie owned the steel company, was considered a captain of industry by giving back to the community and starting charities such as the Gospel of Wealth. J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller were robber barons because they lowered wages on their workers and gave no benefits, making it harder for them to live at home. Henry Ford was in between because he took a lot from his workers and made them work long hours, but in return paid his workers the most money. Social Darwinism was the thought that the rich were born into being rich, and if you weren't born rich, you never would be. Philanthropy wasn't a big thing at the time, but it was done by a few. Andrew Carnegie gave back to the community by setting up charities and writing a book called The Gospel of Wealth, which inspired more people to give back to the community.
The Populist Party started with farmers who were tired of being pushed around by richer people. Cross of Gold speech was created by William Jennings Bryan to put more money into government so that the lower class could get more. The Interstate Commerce Act was put in place to fix the railroad system and have the farmers make more money. Grangers were the group of farmers that stick together to protest for their rights and their rights to lower class people. In time, they were able to pass the Grange laws to help the lower class people in Wabash. Munn versus Illinois dealt with agriculture and the rates that collaborate business were putting on the farmers. It allowed states to regulate certain businesses when traveling through borders. The Sherman Antitrust Act was the law put in place to help get rid of the monopolies and trusts, but wasn't really effective until Roosevelt became president. After the Populist Party grew, people noticed that getting together could make a difference. Laws were put in place to give people more power, such as the 17th Amendment led to direct election of senators. Recall gave people the opportunity to take out of office. Initiative and referendums let people choose what laws they want, and Congress could or may not allow it. Secret ballots let people have more privacy and not have influence on their choice by others.
During the 1860s, America had lots of problems with Native Americans. This was caused by the Dawes Act, which gave 150 acres of land which belonged to the Native Americans and gave it for free to anyone who would make it livable. This caused many battles such as the Sand Creek Massacre, Bull Run, and Wounded Knee, which all had to do with the Indians being upset and wanting their land and rights back from the Homestead Act. This then led to the Dawes Act, which gave Indians some of their land back, but split them up so they would be weaker as a unit. Workers in the U.S. were very upset with their rights and started unions to win their rights. Some very famous unions were the Knights of Labor, which only allowed white experienced men, and the American Federation of Labor, which allowed anybody to join and fight for their rights. The Great Railway Strike, Haymarket Riot, Homestead Strike, and Pullman Strike were all related by unions fighting for their rights and standing their ground to do what they can for the better of themselves and to make others join in. Urbanization was also a big thing because more people moved to the city, which was good because it balanced the workforce. It was bad because lots of disease started due to the mass movement of people in the city.
Immigration became a big thing during this time. The quota system made it very limited, but people from all over wanted to start over in the U.S. What the U.S. tried to do was assimilate all the people and turn them into Americans. That when the theory of melting pot U.S. salad bowl came into place, which meant you can't mix all these people into a race because their distinctive trails will always stick out.
As immigration grew, the U.S. got tired of it. They created the Chinese Exclusion Act and Emergency Quota Act to limit the amount of immigrants in the country and wanted to make the U.S. as pure as possible. The U.S. was nice enough to allow the immigrants who were already in the country to go to the public schools with the Gentleman's Agreement.
Towards the end of the war, 1800s, the United States wanted to think more about itself, so they put the Civil Service Reform and Pendleton Act to fix the government and give jobs to people who actually deserved it.